So as we get back into this conversation, Brother Eric, yeah. So the third part of this topic, we was talking about, first we was talking about being more community orientated. We were talking about, so I'm just thinking like, a lot of times when we address like our families, we say like, you told me you had 2 daughters.
Right.
And I had 2 daughters.
True.
And a son and everything. But what about our relationship with the families outside our community? Even if they actually blood related, do you think we should take more interest in our families and our communities, or you think that will help?
I mean, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? It takes a village, and all that other good stuff. But more than anything, we have to start reaching outside of our homes to tighten up the community. I mean, that's the only way you're going to tighten up the community, in the community, if you're giving back to the community. Because people feel like they don't have any, people in the community feel like they don't have any support.
Support, right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what people want. They want to support. Some people want a handout.
Right.
Some people want an opportunity.
Right, and the words you just said, handout. Sometimes we could be so quick to prejudge somebody, right? Somebody come up to us and ask for assistance, right? We so quick to say no before we even hear them out. And I know I've been guilty of that sometimes myself.
Right.
Does it make you kind of paranoid? Because I know that, look, I don't want to discipline nobody else, child. We're not talking about discipline as far as physical discipline. I ain't talking about that, Eric. But I'm saying that you have 2 daughters and I have daughters, okay? And no matter, we teach them what they need to be taught. But actually, after they leave the home, right, they have other influences. How much influence do you think their friends have on them?
Well, that goes back to the morals and value things. You know what I'm saying? It's a part of the whole. Whereas that if you teach a child morals and values,
right,
and then it's supported by the community,
right,
then they are able to say, hey, little Mike, that's not right.
Right,
or,
right.
But if it's not spread throughout, then how's it going to be? If it's not being supported, then how's it going to be able to be implied?
Right, right.
Or to the community and everything. So that's where the link is missing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some people might want to do that. Some people might want to be that way, but they're not going to. They can't be that way because it's not being taught in the home. And
right.
Then some people want to be that way, but it's not spread out through the community. So it's
right, double-edged sword, man.
Yeah,
but you know what, E? I mean, we come up, we around the same age. We come up around the same generation, right? And I mentioned that even if we ain't saying that we always done right. I've hooked school and everything, but I noticed that like nowadays I go around a lot of places. And they just blatantly be like on the corner. Like, it ain't like you hooking, you ducking out. Because I know the times that I hooked school, and let me let you know, I hooked school, that I used to be ducking out from Miss Mary,
right,
Mr. Joseph,
right,
Right. But now, there ain't no more Miss, what happened to Miss Mary? What happened to Miss Joseph? I know they wasn't our mothers or our fathers, but yet they still had a vested interest in our, what we would do in the day. Especially if it was negative.
That's a hard one right there, you know what I mean? Depending on where you grew up and the times changed, and you can start naming all kinds of situations, whether it be alcoholism, drugs, infiltrating you.
Right.
Miss Mary started using drugs too.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So she didn't care. She didn't care less what little girl or little Mike was doing, because she was out there running and chasing, and then like you said, with drugs comes violence. So it's kind of hard to tell somebody what not to do when they're ready to knock you upside your head too. And
so it really goes back to the same thing, because we always heard this adage, do it, boy, do as I say and not as I do. So in all actuality, that never really works. That's just hot air.
No, I think it does work if what the person is doing is something positive. You know what I'm saying? And what they're saying is positive.
But you saying, hold up, you saying they gotta coincide though.
It has to coincide. You know what I mean? You can't say don't do this and don't do that, but you're doing this and that and the other. You know what I mean?
Right, true,
How do you expect someone to follow your lead if you're leading them to a road of destruction? That's exactly where they're going to go. You know what I mean?
And I'm a true believer in that, Eric, man. And you know what? And I'm looking at the whole topics of conversation that we covered. You know what I mean? You think about how the link was. Can one person make a difference? Yes, I can make a difference. So we agree to disagree with some points in that. And then teaching our daughters to be morally sound, because just like you said, that moral fortitude is going to keep them. It's not necessarily that the type of job they may come at or the education. So we got a vested interest in that. Now we're talking about being more community orientated, which is always good. But like you say, but what about when Miss Mary they got on drugs? So that's not a good look, especially because like you say, now they ain't even respect the Miss Mary. Now they big enough to bad enough to say anything to Miss Mary just as well as Mr. Joseph, and to bust them in the head if they have to.
That's true. So I mean, it all ties in together. You know, the morals, the community, all three aspects of this ties in together. And I'm glad that you brought it up to my attention and everything. But the thing about it is that can one person, spark the flame? Yeah, you can.
Wow.
With that being said, and in closing, you have to start. You have to start something to finish something.
I would agree. I would totally agree. All right, so let me close this out. Well, once again, Kevin Burnham, a.k.a. The Chosen One.
Chosen One.
Baltimore City, my hometown.
Murderland.
And you think about this is my third episode. I already did New York, New Jersey. Now it's Baltimore. What city is next? I thank y'all once again for giving me the opportunity to be a blessing. And once again, like I always tell you, I'm not acting like I'm totally innocent. I've been guilty, so I'm just trying to make amends. So coming at you, The Chosen One. Peace, and we out.